Welcome back, members. Today I have with me Christian Routin. Christian is Vietnamese, he's French, he's got Italian, his father is both French and Italian. I believe I'm correct in saying that. He speaks 5 languages fluently, including Vietnamese. He considers himself, even though he looks like a Frenchman or European, to be 70% Vietnamese. So he understands Vietnamese culture very, very well. Part of what he does as a consultant, cross-cultural trainer and leadership trainer, he trains people to work across cultures. I have incredible respect for Christian as a trainer and a coach, and he's a busy man. A lot of companies engage him. But I wanted to ask him what managers should be considering right now if they're going to cut back their staffing hours or their numbers. What should they be considering as executive leaders?
So it's very important to remind what is the role of a leader in Vietnam, an efficient role. A good leader in Vietnam should play 5 roles. And the most important role among these 5 roles is head of a family. Family is the most important cultural value in Vietnam. It is impacting everything, business and leadership as well. So you have to act as a head of a family. So your staff are your children. So how would you take care of your children in that situation? And how would you present the information? Knowing as well that Vietnamese staff know how the company is doing. That's very important. Because of the tight relationship they have, they get information from the company. So they know how much money you're making, if you have the means to give more money, less money or not. So transparency, I would say, is the key word here. So I would say my first answer would be, if you have the possibility not to cut the salaries down, don't cut it. Because people know what you can do and not do. That's the first thing. Now, if the situation is dire and you have to cut the salaries, then the way to do it is as a good head of a family. So here what I'm telling you is that as a leader, you have to connect to people's heart. Vietnamese people are driven by emotions and feelings. Leadership in Vietnam is leadership by heart. So this is a way to act in that situation. Explain why you're doing it, and then do it, but be transparent and always convey the idea that this is the best choice I make for you. If I could otherwise, I would do it. Mm-hmm. So that is very important. Mm-hmm. So feelings, emotions, leadership by heart, and then transparency. Because here you're talking to your family. You cannot lie to your family. If you do that, it is a major mistake. Because sooner or later, first already, they might know already that you're lying, or when you're lying, mm-hmm. or they might know it later on. And that will impact, of course, trust, and then everything else. Mm-hmm. Because once you lose trust with your people, you lost everything. Mm-hmm. Refer to culture and to values of a Vietnamese culture. Family, here is at play. Now there's another cultural value which is at play, which is collectivism. We are group-oriented in Vietnam. You see, Vietnam is not a country. You don't have inhabitants. Vietnam is a family. We are all family. And the connection we have with even people we don't know, strangers, is very strong, because the whole history of Vietnam is based on wars. And wars to defend our identity. So that reinforced that collectivism and the link we have with others. So you scale down, you have that at the level of the country, and then you scale it down to the level of the company, right? The company, we are a family. We are all interconnected, right?
What advice would you have for a CEO, country manager that has to reduce hours or say goodbye to staff if they're no longer on the payroll? Would you continue considering them as family even though they've left the organization?
So that's a very good question, and it is a central question and very important question. The way you let people go is very important in Vietnam, right? So if you let people go, it means you tried everything already before you let them go. Did you support them in any way possible so they could succeed in their position, right? If they couldn't, did you try to find another position which is more acceptable and more in line with their capabilities inside the company already? Have you done that? And then the last extreme, the last limit is to let them go, but how do you let them go? Do you help them to find another position in another company when you let them go. Because if you're a good father or a good mother, that's what you would do, right? And what you do for one child is what you would do for all the children. Mm-hmm. So everyone is watching you. Mm-hmm. Are you doing the right way? Mm-hmm. Are you doing it the father way, the mother way, or not? Because the way you treat that person is the way you're going to treat me in the future. Mm-hmm. So the message is very, very clear. So you have to be really careful about that. Yeah. So as a father or a mother, a good father or a good mother has two sides, the soft side and the hard side. And you have to balance these two. So the soft side is, I love you, I take care of you, I protect you, I provide, I defend, I answer your needs. And the tough side is, I'm giving rules and enforce the rules. But first of all, if I give rules, it's for you. It's for your own good. So you don't harm yourself or you be more successful. So, and you have to balance these two sides. And this role is the first role of the 5 roles. And here, in the 2 questions we are addressing today, it is impacting big time.
Mm-hmm. So the option also is to reduce hours of all staff in order to retain your team, or even letting them take a time off, a period of time off for a few months. Are any of those options the best option to consider as a boss, as a leader, as a head of a family, as you call it?
If you do it, it's a great sign. It's telling me you love me.
You mean if you're able to retain them, even if it costs you as a company?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
If it costs you to not to do it, to keep the salary at a certain level, or reduce it to the minimum, while you would like to do it more, explain that clearly and do it, because it is an investment for a future, I would say. Because here the message is, I care for you. I know it's very tough for you and your families, very important. I would try to find a way to support you more than I would normally in business terms, right?
So what you said earlier was making sure that if you say goodbye to them, if they do leave the organization, to make sure you do that in a way that you would pat somebody off, perhaps on a trip or whatever, the door's always open, perhaps making sure that there's high touch, if you like, the human touch of
absolutely human, emotion, and feelings.
Excellent.
Leadership by heart. So I insist on that point.